Ooh, the chemtrails are pretty today. Hi friends, welcome back to my car. I first of all just want to say thank you for taking these car rides with me. It's easier for me to speak and think, I guess, when I'm driving than when I'm sitting in my office or at my house with like a thought I'm trying to get out. I guess the driving distracts me from the stress of trying to figure it out. Because as we know, I'm still learning filming and sound and who I am on camera and things like that. And I'm trying to be as genuine as possible. That being said, I want to talk about the last video a little bit so that we can move into what we're going to talk about in today's video. So I wrote a companion blog post with that. I feel like I did do a good job continuing to articulate my thought, but I did not do a good job of explaining that I know that I am privileged. Okay, because first of all, I live in the United States. So I have privileges that there are people in this world that will never see. But that doesn't negate from the fact that I'm still feeling the way I'm feeling. It doesn't negate the fact that I am having these issues and I am trying to be better. But I just wanted to capture that moment and my true feelings so that we had something to work with. So yeah, some of that is like, well, you've got people who help you out when you need it the most, and you've got people who care about you, and you have the ability to be better, and you have a roof over your head and food to eat, water to drink, you know, and there's people who don't have those things. Sorry, I've got my yard work sunglasses on because they're the only ones I can flip and find today for whatever reason. So I understand that I'm coming from a place where some people would look at that and say, are you kidding me? Like, you have a job where you can potentially earn like this much money versus this much money. Okay, that's fine. Go get that job, do the work. It's hard. It's not easy to pass that test. It's not the hardest test in the world, but it's not easy. And then you have to be the kind of person who is willing to look at somebody in the face with dollar signs in your eyes. And I'm not that person. So I probably will do this for a long time. Realistically, if I stay here, I probably will do this for the rest of my time. But I'm going to find something to supplement that so that I don't have to be 9 to 5 Monday through Friday doing that job. Especially if I end up buying that business. We just need to know that the true feelings that I have behind that are what we talked about on the last video. And also, when I said, well, whatever I said about making the logical choice to get this job with stability and job security and how I felt about that, it doesn't mean I'm going to throw that away. It just means that I thought there was something more for me than drone work. So we had that big teardown, and I have another talk that I think I did. It definitely was after I filmed the last video, but it might have been even the very next day. Again, I still feel that way, but I have a video that talks a little bit more logically about the direction I'm having. A job sure does seem to get in the way of being able to do what I want with my life. What I'm trying to say is I am not special or any different than anybody else. But my feelings are my feelings, and I am feeling them the way I am feeling them, which I am allowed to because I am a human. And I've got to get past it. I'm not going to go to therapy. Like, there's a lot of things we're going to discover are like not necessarily wrong about me, but need leveled up is what we're going to call it, since that's the whole point of this channel. Well, I'm not going to go to therapy, and here's why. I went to therapy when I was like 18. All that woman did is make fun of me to my face. Like, I said, I think I'm depressed. And I tell her like 3 weeks of sessions in, and this is like going twice a week for an hour at a time, that I think that's my problem, and that I just need to figure out how to fix that. She throws her hands up in the air and she goes, if one more person tells me that they have depression today. And then she just stopped talking, and it's like, oh, so this is appropriate for you to do? And then she goes off on this tangent about how depression is the common cold of mental illness, and she's tired of it, and people need to just get a grip. Okay, well, I understand now, literally 20 years later, that I was speaking to somebody who was probably going through something herself and probably not very good at her jobs. That's ruined it for me. And then on top of that, I worked at a facility that was inpatient and outpatient mental health, and they would just complain and make fun of their patients the whole time. And I'm not going to put myself through that. And I've given myself a couple pep talks recently, like just go on BetterHelp, because where I live, like, you know, it's a HIPAA violation to talk to anybody about somebody else's mental health if you're their care provider. But where I live, apparently HIPAA doesn't apply, because these people, and I'm not just saying this because I'm jaded on my small town mentality, I get to hear about it from these people. So I'm not going to go put my stuff out there. I'd rather put it all out on the internet for everybody to see and know that I'm dealing with it than do that. And I have myself convinced, like, even if that person makes fun of me outside of us, if they're a good enough therapist that they can help me, who cares if they make fun of me outside of it? I guess all I'm trying to say is I don't want to go have a pity party session at a therapist. And if you're somebody who goes to a therapist and it helps you and you truly believe in it, then good, then you should do that. And if you are a therapist and you're offended, then I'm sorry. Actually, you know what? I'm not sorry. I'm not sorry if you're offended. You should be strong enough to know that I'm probably not talking about you then. Person who it doesn't take much to break me down. So I've got those 2 experiences. I'm done. I'm not going to do it. So I think what I'm trying to get at when I first started this video and press play when we were leaving the house is that it seems like I do a lot of sit in the car and complain. However, the whole point of this is to level up. So we have to get the base of where we're leveling up from. I didn't even turn this camera on with the intention of talking about this stuff. I wanted to talk about the fact that I sleep too much, and I have a demon inside of me that won't let me sleep less, even though I don't need to sleep as much as I'm sleeping. And the more I try to be better, the more it tries to sabotage me. But anyway, apparently that's not the direction we're going with this one, and that's fine. Let's just get it all out. There's like the things I can tell you off the top of my head are that I sleep too much, I don't have a good control of my weight, and I hate my job, right? Like, and because of that, the whole hate my job thing, there's that whole other facet of like, I'm not doing enough with my life. I haven't done anything I set out to do. My life is completely mundane, and I don't want to get too deep into that because it just makes me too sad every time. So the first thing I need to do, I wholeheartedly believe that if I can get my sleep under control, I can get everything under control. It doesn't mean that if like tomorrow I'm going to wake up and I'm going to get up on time or early or something and then my life is going to be perfect. If I can start limiting my sleep, because right now I'm in a phase where I'm so depressed that I sleep way too much, then I can make time to work out in the mornings. I can make time to meditate and do yoga. I can make time to shoot videos in my home in the morning when my dude is at work. I can make time to clean my house, for sure. And I can't make these linear videos. I tried to with the sleep thing for a little bit, and that's just not logical. But for sure, we need to work on getting the right amount of sleep. So I do need to do a video that's like a informative video so that we can use that as a base point. I do need to work on proper nutrition, diet, and exercise. I'm always working on that. I have a lot of good information on my blog about it. However, The proof's in the pudding, and I obviously haven't been doing anything. Well, I have, but not enough. The other thing is, you can't make excuses, you can't be lazy. Like Cameron Haynes says, like, nobody cares, work harder. The job thing, I really am working on, like, for the last like 2 weeks, I've been working on this in the capacity that I tried to get it to where we could work from home again. Like I had it all figured out, except for that corporate won't allow it. Just hands down, corporate will not allow that. I've been applying to jobs that I know are work from home, and I have been working on my little side business again because like I said, I'm easily discouraged and I need to get past that. So I think those are the 3 big things. And then there are little things in there that are like side quests, like don't be so damn sensitive, like don't care what other people think. Well, on the outside, I really don't care what other people think, but on the inside, it does have an effect on me. But I also just want to say this. There's things that I want to do. I guess I should find that out. I believe that I owe my college some money. So I can't just go back to school. And I kind of have some mixed emotions about college and going back to school. Well, basically what I'm saying is I don't know if I want to go back to school. There's this piece inside of me that thinks that I need to have a degree to succeed, and there's this piece inside of me that's logically like, you can learn any of this stuff without getting a degree and you will be fine, so why spend the money? I don't know if I'm going to go back to college, but I'm going to fix my education, okay? So I have a slight plan, and this has always been a plan that has like kind of percolated in the back of my mind, and I think I'm going to do it, and I think I'm going to do it, and then I just don't. But we're about accountability right now, and we're leveling up, and this is how I'm going to do it. And if you want to do it with me, go right ahead. I have a Skillshare account. I have used it briefly to learn a few things. I've learned a few things about video editing, about graphics design, different hobbies or whatever. Skillshare is fairly cheap, and I am not sponsored, but I'm just saying it is fairly cheap, and it's a huge resource. You can learn almost anything on there within reason. You're not going to learn how to perform brain surgery. So I need to sit down and figure out myself a curriculum. I downloaded an app, and I will put a screenshot of it because I don't remember what it's called. But it's like Duolingo, only I guess more gooder, because I want to learn another language, and I have decided, I've given this a lot of thought for many, many years. Spanish would be the logical language. I've tried to learn Spanish a little bit. I do like it. I'm not going to choose these things to learn based on what's the logical choice. I'm going to do it based on what I want. So, Spanish, while at some point I would like to learn it, is not going to be the first one. I like French. I have a bit of an understanding of French because of the ballet that I took in college. However, I do not have conversational French. German, for many reasons. I have a German. Well, maybe you do know, depending on who you are. I have German ancestry. Or then you get a little whimsy in you, and you're like, I want to speak Gaelic because I have Irish ancestry. My older brother wanted me to learn Farsi with him because it's a beautiful language. But I have decided, and I have a friend who is going to be a long distance friend, who is from Russia initially, although she moved to the United States when she was like 18 days old, so she doesn't know Russian. She wants to learn Russian. I want to learn Russian. I really want to learn Russian. I have an affinity towards Russian culture. I think it's the right choice. I know it's going to be one of the more difficult languages to learn from an English perspective, but she's got the app, I've got the app, and we are going to try to learn it together. So there's that. So then I need to figure out some more curriculum because I think I'm going to go to the College of Saho and just pick a few things. So I am going to get my next insurance license tier thing, which is life and health. And I'm adding that into this curriculum because I've been studying this again, and if I'm going to block out time to study the things I want to study or have like mini school sessions, that's going to be part of it. And then I don't really know. There's a couple other things that I would really like to learn. I need to sit down and make a list and decide which ones I want to start with. So I think I want to pick maybe 4 things, and I have 2 of them already kind of lined out. So I'll pick a couple more courses, and I'll have a couple hours of schooling every day. And it's not like I'm going to sit down and just do all those hours of schooling in one shot, but so I can continue to learn, because I am a person who likes to learn. Sleep is something that I'll talk about in that other clip too, but I have got to get that figured out. So I'm going to sit down and just choose the method that I'm going to use, and I'm going to use that method. I still think what I originally said about like waking up a little bit earlier every day is going to apply, but we'll see what happens, and I'll keep you guys updated on that. My weight. I've been actually working really hard. I have another video in the works that I need to get completed so that we can talk about the weight issue, because it's its own issue in itself. But today I'm down 9 pounds from the day, which it's been a little longer than I would have liked it to, from the day that I decided, and I will show you this also. I found this cool bag on Amazon. I hate my bag. It was good when it was new, but it's old and it's falling apart and it's impractical. But I found a new bag on Amazon that I love. It is so great. So I think it was $30, but it might have been $40. But I made a promise to myself that if I lost 20 pounds, I could have that bag. So I'm pretty close. So the 9 pounds isn't the right amount. It's only been 7 pounds, because I have 13 pounds to go, so it has to have only been 7, but that doesn't matter. It's okay. I've been doing it all with diet, because I've not been able to stick to a schedule to get to the gym. So then the job situation and the finance situation, I think they are 2 separate things, but they're one and the same. So these are the things that I want to work on. Everything we've talked about, plus the job situation, which I'm working on. And I'm doing it 2 ways. I'm trying to better the job that I'm at so that I don't hate it so much. And I'm also actively applying for other work. And we will make a mixture of the 2 is probably what's going to happen. And then the finance, aside from just gaining more income through my own work, I need to diversify my income. So I was tipped a troy of silver and a troy of copper. I would like to invest a little more in precious metals slowly. That's not an easy thing to do. I'm revamping my budget constantly. I have a small investment in cryptocurrency, and I would like to start a little, I'm reading about day trading, but I don't have $25,000 to just spend. But I think I'd just like to have a little bit of investment in the stock market. And then that is a bit of a diversification. That is a bit of a diversification of my income, and then I will invest some time and effort into growing that. So anyway, this has been a long trip into town. I am at the office. I need to go in, and I will catch you later on. Thanks, friends. Okay, so we're on the way home now, and I decided I needed to turn the camera back on because I was doing some editing, and between the 2 pieces of footage where I have that really is covering what I'd like to talk about today, I just ramble, and I don't really get to a couple of things. Like something else, of course, which I guess I felt kind of like it was just straight up said when I announced it in the last video, is that I'm going to be doing music again, which is awesome. So that's, I guess, really the other thing that I'm really going to work on, that I think will, because this is really giving me an outlet to be creative, and then I want the music as well. So creativity is an outlet that I'm looking for. Those are just the building blocks. Those are just the base, the foundation. There we go. I'm never going to get to the point where I'm just perfect, right? Like, but I want to get to the point where I'm doing things, I'm working on it, I'm learning new things, I'm growing as a person, and this is how we're gonna do it. I'm sorry that my previous video and this video have been so heavy. I will get back to some more fun, lighthearted stuff next week. We just have to start here, and I've said that a couple of times already, but now we know how we can go forward, and I'm going to continue to show you things like my farm, or the non-farm, right? And I'm going to continue to tell you like my favorite things, and I have some videos already filmed, like on baking bread and on how I grocery budget and meal plan and stuff like that, that are tools that I've already developed that I'd like to share with somebody who would like to know those things as well. So I'm just saying, it doesn't need to be this serious. We don't need to take ourselves so seriously and